You would start with that. We had a emergency missed week due to stupidity. We'll leave it at that. I was traveling and got over 3/4 of the way to my destination and realized I left my suitcase out. Well, I didn't realize. The lady called and was like, "Hey, I'm staring at the suitcase. Do you think you might have needed that?" So I had to turn around and drive back. So I couldn't make the recording. I was going to be live from a hotel in Columbus, Ohio. It was going to be very exciting. And wildfire smoke, because I never had wildfire smoke down here in Indy. So never got this far. A couple
times up here.
Yeah, no, pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, but that's it's Canada's fault. We should charge them.
And
because they don't break their forests.
And if they don't do something about it, we're gonna stop it here.
We're gonna stop it here. Is that what he said? He really did. I missed that. Like you said, we're gonna stop the fire, or like we're gonna put a wall up for the smoke.
We're gonna stop the smoke from coming here.
We're gonna put a wall up for the smoke, dude. So smoke and Mexicans. That's what we're putting walls up for. Holy shit. Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't know he said that. I'm thoroughly not so shocked he said that.
Right.
But I did not know that he said that. So that's wild. We're going to stop the smoke dead in its tracks. Man, we got some skills, dude. I wonder where all these skills were before he was.
I mean, I guess we've been able to control the weather for quite some time now. And,
particularly smoke, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're just letting weather happen. So, which in turn means we're letting tornadoes destroy entire civilizations.
Exactly.
And hurricanes.
I heard somebody say that we should just point the wind turbines at Canada and blow it all back their way.
The wind turbines.
Yeah.
The ones that don't create wind, but use wind to spin. That's what we're talking about. The ones that the wind creates the electricity, not the ones that are electric powered.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what we were talking about. But I wanted to be. Oh my God. I wanted to be sure.
Yep.
So we are definitely sure. So some other stuff other than Canada being on fire that happened. We definitely had McConnell is still kind of MIA, but we have had one proof of life picture.
No, that was proven to be AI.
Oh, it was AI? Okay. All right. So you can't tell no more. You really can't tell no more.
No, that was a really good one. I looked, but you can see like there's just a couple spots where like he seems stretched.
It just doesn't make sense, right? Okay. So McConnell is maybe still dead.
He's dead. Yeah. Maybe he's still dead.
Maybe he's still dead. And then I know that MAGA got really mad that they appointed the sister, I do believe.
Of Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't mention that. Yeah. Lindsey Graham's dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we did talk about that, right? 2 weeks ago?
I knew.
He wasn't dead 2 weeks ago, was he?
I don't think so.
No.
I think
I remember what I was going to talk about last week.
Yeah.
So Lindsey Graham did die.
Yeah.
Little conspiracy behind it. Yeah. And MAGA got mad that they appointed a sister, but that's fairly traditional that they appoint a living relative in that scenario because it's only good for...
It depends on the state. The state's rules for like if they have a lieutenant or if the person that like lost the general, ends up coming up behind them. There's different states have different rules on how that goes.
Okay. Well, they appointed his sister, and I think that's fair. And then will they have a special? Will they be able to loop that in the midterm? Have they decided that yet?
So I think she gets to keep it until the midterm, and I think she announced that she's running.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she is a Republican.
Yeah.
Like
but
she's fairly... It's a very MAGA thing to say.
That's why I said it.
It's a very MAGA thing to say. That's very, very misogynist.
Well, and her brother was gay, and there's just all kinds of red flags there for the MAGA crowd.
She's gay too.
Her brother was gay.
Wouldn't that be his brother too?
No, that would be him.
Fuck. I need a timeout. I see what you did there. It took me 8 minutes and 12 seconds. So, and a post-it note, but I see what you did there. And their brother was gay. Okay. True story. True story. That is rumor on the street.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that it was confirmed that he had a Grindr profile. So,
do you know how long I went without knowing what that was?
I went far longer than I should have, having, so many.
Like somebody said it to
friends.
me 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "The fuck is that?" And then they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "That does in fact make sense."
Yeah.
So it does in fact make sense. It would actually make more sense for lesbians, but we won't go there. So because Grindr, I'll probably get canceled for that too. Something about scissors. I don't know. Don't run
Scissors.
with them. So
Oh.
yeah, so he died. And
we also
no more votes in the Senate. They can't pass anything. All these people are gone.
Yeah.
Well, so their majority's completely gone without McConnell or, well, I guess Graham's replaced, but McConnell isn't.
Right.
So,
yeah, and if they, if they pull the plug on him, before, what is it, August 4th, then
they have to appoint somebody. They go
into a special election, and the Republicans are for 40 or something in special elections.
I think Massey could win something like that in Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he got primaried out.
Right.
Because he had the audacity to disagree, especially with Israel.
Right.
So I have, we can do a little bit of Israel. I'm sure you have something.
Are we going right into Israel?
So I'm sure you have something. But no, I watched. So you couldn't have told me a year ago that I would have watched this interview. You couldn't have convinced me. I would have lost all my money. But I watched Candace Owens on Tucker Carlson. I watched the interview because I saw a few clips on TikTok that intrigued me enough to actually watch the interview. And fuck. And
they went at
even more wild than, they went after Israel, bro.
Yeah.
And even more wild than that, though, is then like a few days or a week later, Candace had Hunter Biden on her show.
Really?
And like they made peace. Like, well, she made me like apologized to him and like said like I didn't realize the whole time like I was actually like making fun of a recovering addict, and like that's terrible for me to, because they're washed, bro. They're like so between watching her on Tucker, right?
Yeah.
And then I also saw her on you know what? It wasn't Tucker that I'm talking about. It was Sean Ryan. She was on the Sean Ryan show. And I watched her on the Sean Ryan show. I also, who was on Tucker that they were railing
I don't know,
Israel last week?
But I read a lot of, quotes from Tucker and
railing Israel.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of wild. Like that these hardcore, like what people have left for.
Yeah.
It is wild, right? So like
some of them left. When you listen to Tucker and you hear him being like almost explicitly racist, trying to say that he's not racist, but then asking questions in the most racist possible way possible. Yeah. But now he's got a heart for brown people. It's crazy.
I don't necessarily think he has a heart for brown people as more as a disdain for a foreign country telling us what to do and owning us and controlling us. I don't necessarily, I think Tucker is a diehard constitutionalist. You know what I'm saying? Like he does in his own Republican spin. Go back to his Fox News days before he was a, grifter. So that's the other part. A lot of these people turned into grifters and they were just running the line that could make them the most money. Right. Like but
yeah. And they're following that line even now. They're seeing
some of them right now. Some of them are starting to peel. I guess you're right. But I think Candace truly peeled because of Charlie Kirk's murder. because she firmly believes it was Israel that did it.
I've heard multiple people talk about, how
so
they
that's
feel
what
like
a lot of what she talked about on Sean Ryan was that like she firmly believes Israel did it because she says emphatically that Charlie was about to publicly come out against our ties to Israel because he knew, and Charlie was high enough in the sphere that he would have had the inside information that 6 months later we end up in a war with them against Iran, right? Or 8 months. That doesn't happen overnight.
No, I mean, so, we knew, we called it before Trump took office. So,
right. But he knew it was going to come. And I heard like he turned down an interview or, a meet and greet with Bibi. Bibi wanted to come on the show. He said no, because I think Charlie was the same as like Tucker in that, right? That like America, but only.
Well, I think
a true isolationist almost.
I think you're right there, but he also was commanding a lot of the young evangelicals, the college age kids, and to maintain that, that purchase that Israel has, a lot of that is, fighting that fight in the liberal college, scene where, the Arab nations have enough representation that they push hard in those liberal settings. And, you see a lot of young women that become disillusioned with white guys. So they put on the burqa and, and then you see a lot of the, rhetoric about anti-Semitism and how they're being railed against when, I mean, I think I fell for that quite a bit, where I was very sensitive to, anti-Semitism and hate against Israel for a long time until,
till they started committing genocide.
Well, I mean, before that, but yeah, once they started committing genocide, then I was, this has to be handled in the harshest.
I don't think you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't think your reasoning is incorrect by any means whatsoever. But I mean, it was wild to go up into like hearing Tucker Carlson say the money of pallets of cash, which it was pallets of cash, because it had to be because of sanctions that Obama gave it. Iran was actually, and I didn't even know this till I saw it on his show. It was because of a lawsuit that actually started when we overthrew the Shah. So it was like a lawsuit from 1978 and Obama just decided to pay it and be done with it.
Yeah. It was their money.
Yeah, it was their money, right? So like it's a wild, and to hear Tucker actually be like, well, yeah, I mean, I found a bullshit about that, but this is actually, and then the guest explained exactly what it was. And I'm like, damn, y'all really hate Israel now. Like you,
like you guys are actually telling the truth now.
Right. That like you're crazy. Telling the truth. That's crazy. I didn't look at it that way, but yes, like you're telling the actual truth. And now they're saying you're lying, just like the liberals. No,
right.
He knew the whole time. It just wasn't good for his grift.
Right.
So, but he doesn't, they really don't like this direction. So, but yeah, so we have like major people falling out over Israel. We have major people fall out over the war in Iran. Sean Ryan was very pro-Trump, and he said, like, we just got flat out hoodwinked. So, and it's funny to watch the ones who I've always wondered how it happened because they're actually intelligent.
Yeah.
Right. Like Sean Ryan's not a stupid man. He's a smart man. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens a little bit fucking crazy, but she's not stupid.
No.
And I mean, then the other part is she thinks Israel did it with Charlie's wife. Like she was in on.
Oh yeah. I believe
so, that. And that just maybe, and she kind of alludes, she hasn't come out flat out and said it, but she kind of alludes that possibly Charlie's wife is Mossad.
I mean,
and I'm starting to think everybody's Mossad.
Everybody's Mossad. Dude, I mean, Trump Jr. just married a Mossad agent.
Yeah. Like, I just think everybody's crazy. Mossad, bro. Like, yeah, there's so much Mossad that everybody's Mossad. So it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, I don't. And, I will reiterate like that there is a fundamental difference that where I really disagree with the far left, because the more and more I've learned, actually, kind of what sent me down this train is you. The more and more I've learned from there, and like we talk about it openly, and my phone sits here when we talk about it, so it hears it, so it starts giving me, TikToks about it, because it knows what to do.
Right.
But that we actually just got a YouTube notification. So I realized how genocidal I had truly become. So, and then it's full genocide. So, like, yeah, okay, fuck you. I can't get behind that. You know what I'm saying? And, but then the left just the far left just started taking it to literally anti Semitic places.
Right.
And it's like, we can't do that.
Right.
Like, because, and I'm starting to see more and more Israeli people, though. Like, I just watched a video, I don't know where. It was a long video, so probably Reels. It definitely wasn't YouTube. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, but Reels, ex IDF age or IDF member, like not just the voluntary, like he continued to enlist for some time, who's like, screaming, this ain't right. And then I saw a college student, a Jewish college student, like, my grandmother told me all about it and said never again. It never again meant for fucking everybody. So, and it's like, so there's more and more of the Jewish people are like, no, fuck this.
Have you seen the one where there was an actual survivor that came out and spoke against it? Yeah, like she was in the camps and she came out and was saying that, this it might have been a man, because I think I saw the grandmother one too, but I think the one I'm thinking of, it was a guy, and he said he was sitting there and he actually started crying a little bit and saying that, this wasn't right, and this isn't what Israel was supposed to be, things like that. So, and
Yeah.
I know they've had some, real protests with like 20,000 people, coming out and saying that they need to stop. And it doesn't seem like it seems like there's the same amount of disconnect in Israel from the people to the government as there is in America right now. And that to me is
That's fair.
scary.
Yeah. Well, okay, I agree. It's scary, but then it's also reinforcing that we need not attack the people.
Right.
That the people are like, more and more we're learning the people aren't the politics, and they never have been,
and that's the craziest thing is, like, we're hearing that from Iran. I could have told you that 20 years ago I never would have thought that I'd be calling Iran the good guys, but
Agreed.
They've come out multiple times and they've said, we are not against the American people. We we're fighting against this regime. We want you to stand up and tell them that this is wrong, and they've tried to be as peaceful as I can see from their point of view. Like, nobody's going to come in America and tell us that we can't have guns or that we can't have nukes. But we're trying to do that to them, even though they didn't do anything to instigate, that pressure.
No
so
more nukes. No, yeah, I really resonate with the didn't think 20 years ago you could have told me Iran was the good guys. Lots of things have happened, bro, that I never thought. We talked about a lot of possibilities. Like, we ran through a lot of shit back in our day, and the shit that has happened, we weren't even remotely close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure unicorns were above.
Yeah, like any of it, bro. Like, America would become a fascism.
Yeah.
Iran would become the good guy.
Right.
So Trump is actually Jesus, weird shit.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't quite 100% know what to, what I'm saying, but to think about it all.
We've got UN officials saying that Israel is continuing their apartheid genocide, and that I think this said that there was more bombings in Palestine. For what? I'm not quite sure, but killed 2 more people. I didn't find the ticker this week for the amount of times that they violated the ceasefire.
3 per day. I thought we already knew. I thought we had gotten there on our own. It was 3 per day.
There are plenty of reports of Palestinians being raped, shackled, and bleeding in Israel's prisons.
Unfortunately, that happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It does happen a lot, but it's not supposed to happen with
war.
Well, anybody that agrees to the Geneva Conventions and seeks out the protections of the UN or NATO, and a lot of this was created for the protection of Israel.
That's also true.
It makes me angry.
No, it's a weird reality, right? Like, so it's so weird. It's so weird. You couldn't have told me that Bibi was going to be a bad guy 25 years ago either.
I could have told you that.
When wasn't it him and Arafat that made the deal?
Yeah. But he's also Mossad, so
also Mossad. So that's
he's also Mossad. So,
but that one's known. So well, yeah.
So, Israel, of course, invaded another one of the Islam's holy mosques. So not only are they committing genocide and war crimes, but they're
extinguishing the religion. This is their version. What is it? The Torah? Is that their
holy book? Yes, Torah is their holy book.
It is the Torah. That's what. Is this just like them is everybody trying to speed up the end times? Is that what we really got going on here?
So there is.
Coach Jesus into coming back.
Do you not remember the what Hegseth put out?
The Hegseth is a fucking drunk, bro. I don't believe anything he said.
Yes, but he's also part of that Christian sect that
for sure he's a fucking tune.
He's a tune that runs our military, and
he has gotten real quiet though.
Well, of course he has. Too much heat on him,
and he's failing
miserably. If he sticks his head out too far, Trump's going to cut it off.
You mean to tell me the Fox News host is failing at running the military? No fucking way.
I know, right?
So I would be, bro. I love risk, and I'd be terrible at running the military too. So there's some qualifications that need to be had. That's like when forklift drivers apply to be managers for me, because forklift driving and managing go together. Or hairdressers. That seems to be.
We're not talking about you.
I wasn't ever a hairdresser.
Not you.
Good call. Good call. Good call. 13th night. Yeah, no, we've got it in.
Yeah, we're back at war.
Why did we go back to war?
Because we were keeping the blockade up despite the ceasefire agreement saying that we would allow them to continue shipping the same as they would open the strait back up for us. We did. They did. We did not. And then there was tankers and stuff that were going through unapproved, and so Iran fired on them, and we said, no, why did you violate the ceasefire agreement? Now we have to throw stuff at you. And then they threw stuff at us, and then yeah. So that's basically the Iran wasn't going to just flat out agree to Trump's nuclear requirements. They basically want to deny them the ability to use nuclear for energy or anything.
Well,
so
I did see we hit the plant. We hit one of their plants.
We hit the plant again after we started shooting at them again.
Yeah,
we've also been hitting bridges and targeting civilians, doing all the things. Of the things that we're not supposed to do.
Guys who lead with Jack Daniels are going to do.
Yeah. So
Pete, dude, I can't wait till it's all said and done and I could order a Hegseth at the bar. I don't know what'll be in it, but I know you only need one.
It's gonna be gross. It's gonna be so gross.
But you only need one, bro. It'll be the new rite of passage shot instead of a cement mixer.
Trump is currently considering a massive attack in order to respond to the 3 soldiers that we lost in Iraq.
Because that got a lot of traction for some reason.
What, the
3 soldiers in Jordan? It's not the first 3.
No.
So I think it's because I know that there was a resolution passed in the House that are like, it was mostly symbolic, but that said, like, wait, and I know there's a lot of both sides, both parties saying, hey, something's got to give here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we can't keep expanding this. And I still think a part of me still firmly believes that it's like, oh, if we're at war, we'll win the midterms.
Well, yeah, that's definitely a thought process that they're having for sure.
Because it's old school, right? During the war incumbency,
they have to sell it. They have to sell it. So if they don't have dead soldiers, if they don't have a bad guy, then we're the aggressors, which we are. But then it won't hold traction enough to be able to sell in the midterm. So, but that's one of the reasons why he came out, and said that, communism is the greatest threat to America again. Like, but what he didn't say is that the communists are Democrats. That's who he's really focused on. He needs the bad guys, overseas to throw defense money at and bolster the economy through defense spending. But what he really means is that he's taking a lot of that budget increase that he asked for, and he's putting that towards security at home. And that isn't meant for Iranians. That's meant for Democrats.
Yeah. Bill Maher came out last week and said that the Democrats are starting to become too communist for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very
He's another one that went all haywire there for a hot second. Forgot.
He's a staunch liberal for 30 years.
Right. And then he comes out and he's railing against the Democrats.
He's always, disagreed with things, but he really doesn't like the progressive wing in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So he's definitely a conservative liberal. That's for sure.
A blue dog Democrat for sure.
There you go.
So there was a name for them at one time. So yeah, so he definitely did that. Another one is we agreed, you kind of brought it up, a civilian nuclear agreement with Saudi Arabia yesterday, and then already trying to walk it back today.
Yeah.
Seem like a theme. Does this seem familiar? I vaguely feel like maybe I've seen this game before.
You know what the difference between this deal and Iran is? Iran didn't send $2 billion to Kushner.
That's true. Well, yeah, something though. They're filthy rich, bro. The royal family over there's got all the money, bro.
Yeah.
And they know what to do with it. So, but the civilian, they know what to do with it. The civilian nuclear deal, it's for power. So I did see a market analyst talking the other day that said the biggest changes in the market happen when where bulk of energy comes from changes.
Mm-hmm.
And that he sees us moving back to nuclear quickly because it's the only viable answer in the AI race currently available for America.
For the scale up.
Well, if we move heavily to it, so will everybody else.
Right.
So maybe buy some nuclear stock.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of those took off when Trump announced, in his first 100 days, he had plenty of EOs that had to do with expanding nuclear power and giving permits out, a lot of them were for data centers and things like that. So
I think it'll be interesting. I'm not against nuclear power in any way, shape, or form. I think it's fairly safe. It's definitely efficient.
The problem is the waste,
True.
and there has been some decent advancements made in waste management as far as like finding. I think they bred like a bacteria or something that could eat the radioactive material,
So
the
did
water
they
and
breed
stuff.
that, or is that are you talking about so I know there's a mold that kind of randomly showed up in Chernobyl.
They have done a lot of studies with,
and they've done, and they've done it, but that's what I'm saying. So the mold like literally does degrade the nuclear radioactivity. Like once it sits in a place for some time, like there's no more radioactivity there. Like it is very successful in doing so. And I like evolution a lot.
Yeah.
Because it feels
the movie?
like that too.
I love that movie. That movie was.
But no, I think so I'm wondering if that's what, you know what I'm saying? Because they've done research on that.
Well, from the last I read, they were working on scaling, getting that up to scale so that it could actually tackle the amount of, because if you think about like millions of barrels of oil being taken out of the earth to burn, the amount of gallons of, dirty water, radioactive waste that we have from a plant is pretty high as well. So
that'd be kind of cool though, if you can mold it up, man. Let the fire.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get
it
the
wasn't
scale,
a mold, it was a fungus. It's mushrooms.
Was it a fungus?
It's always mushrooms, dude.
No,
and they said it was an ancient fungus, like it had existed in the way back when we were way more radioactive. For natural reasons.
I wonder if that's the one that we ate first. Did I ever tell you about the study that they're conducting, trying to find out if it's possible that our brain development was so rapid because of our species finding psilocybin and eating them, because they followed pack animals around in the savannah and ate things like mushrooms out of their poop, and suddenly we were smart.
I got some stories. Can't necessarily answer that for you, but I got some stories.
Right. I think that's fascinating,
that is a very interesting study. Definitely. Yeah. So, and it's things like that becoming more mainstream blows my mind.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's lots of studies that are being done using psilocybin, ecstasy,
LSD.
Well, not LSD. Psilocybin and what's the other one?
DMA.
Yeah. Well, no, that's ecstasy. Silly.
I thought that's what you were looking for, the technical.
No. So, no, there's another psychedelic that they're using.
There's another one?
Yeah.
Is that the one I never did?
Peyote? Did
that one.
You did that one? Ayahuasca? Ayahuasca.
Definitely haven't done that one.
That's
curious.
Yeah. So, I don't remember where they're doing the ayahuasca study, but it's not in America.
If I was, no, it would be Peru. And if I was going to do it, that's where I'd want to do it, but I would have a caveat. I would only do it with a certain actor. As long as he came with me, I would do it.
Yeah. So what you alluded to earlier is this $1.15 trillion military spending package. I don't know if you guys remember our episodes when we talked about the budget that they were passing and the big beautiful bill, and how they were going to bring our military spending up almost double to $1 trillion. Now we are popping right on over that.
Well, yeah.
And
the government only.
Yeah. And look at that. Mossad's coming. So.
No.
You said coming. Have you heard much about the partnering where they're going to have IDF soldiers on American soil?
No.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah. No.
Are you going to
It's
send them to
not.
the colleges?
No, well, probably. I mean, they're here to round up the Democrats, so.
Okay, that's fair. You're probably not wrong about that, huh?
And then we got Rubio, still trying to make shit up to cover down on Trump and Hegset's bullshit.
Dude, the fact that he was the most anti-Trump dude ever, and Trump used to talk mad shit to him. So,
Yep, I know.
boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, I definitely want to get into this before we hit the end. So there was a big speech last week, or a campaign rally.
No, it was a speech. It was a primetime speech.
Yeah, it was a campaign rally. It was classified as a primetime speech, but it was a campaign rally. And you can't really have a primetime speech when the three majors don't carry it.
Yeah, right.
So, which they want to like pull their license now or
Of
something.
course.
Like, dude, the MAGA is the most like freedom is free until it's not for them.
Right.
And then they just want to do the most like insane dictator shit available. So, but yeah, ABC, NBC, and CBS did not carry the speech, is what I heard. Maybe it wasn't all three. I know CNN wouldn't carry it, but they wouldn't. So
Well,
basically,
I think that only two of them ended up not. I think three of them weren't going to, and then one of them, I don't know. I don't pay too much attention, but
got threatened and caved like a little bitch.
Right.
So no, yeah, I don't pay attention to mainstream media either. I just saw the Twitter fallout.
Right.
They were all like, pull their licenses and never let them broadcast again because that's not dictatorship. Not at all.
Right.
It's not. It's fine. But anyway, so in his campaign rally, we were talking on you guys were talking on the side text. You guys aren't even sure I read that, but I do. So I'm not saying I participate a lot, or I watch the 448 attachments that show up per day, but I do read it. And you guys are talking about, well, you brought up that this is setting the stage to not have an election. And I know he spent 2 minutes of it in the beginning saying Americans deserve confidence that their votes will be counted accurately, and cheating or outside interference should be virtually impossible. He asserted that the current election system falls far short of that standard. He announced the immediate declassification and release of intelligence that he said revealed serious vulnerabilities to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. So he did. This is I'm reading transcript. So this is exactly what he said. Okay. Okay, you're right. That he just released and declassified parts of the fucking Mueller report.
Right. Exactly right.
That's all he actually did. Like, yeah, we knew. He already told us that. So good job. But they don't realize it. The MAGA bobbleheads are like, they don't realize that's all he did. He gave you documents from the Mueller report.
Yeah.
That's what he gave you. And then he alleged that the information had been concealed from the public for years. Well, yeah, it was under seal by a grand jury and the Department of Justice.
Right.
For regular, So he's had to go there and the White House election integrity page and go view the documents. So you can go look at unredacted parts of the Mueller report finally. So enjoy that and wonder why Mueller definitely wanted to put these people in jail. And then he talks about...
He did put a couple people in jail.
He did. Then he spent another minute on China and the 220 million voter files. He claimed China acquired approximately 220 million Americans' voter records, beginning during the 2020 election cycle. This is key. I'll wrap that in at the end, but during the 2020 election cycle. Mueller report about the 2020 election cycle.
Okay.
So he said records included names, address, telephone numbers, political affiliations. So, okay, cool. China stole it. You gave it to Israel. What's the difference?
Right.
So characterized it as the largest compromise of election data in history. I don't really think it was election data. I think any credit card hack or system hack of a rental car agency or this could have given them all of that information.
Well, demographics. It was demographics. Which way do you lean? Like, it was probably polling information, that type of stuff.
So he accused people within the intelligence community, the deep state, of suppressing the information about China's election activity, right? He said that in 2020, China had bought, stolen, or hacked tens of millions of voter records from 18 states. And he alleged that officials who should have warned the government instead kept the information secret. Yet there was a report about that too. We don't know the name of that one because, it was like super top secret because things kind of are classified, sometimes. But then he went into, it was against Trump, the alleged Chinese efforts against Trump. And he said that the CIA released reporting that 2018, the CCP sought to use domestic and international groups opposed to Trump to reduce his votes, pressure him to resign and prevent his reelection. That they attempted to influence the 2018 midterms and the 2020 presidential.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said illegal ballots happened, withheld briefings, and burn bags, right? Where FBI intelligence collected in 2020 described Chinese attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe, Sleepy Joe. Okay. CIA and NSA reports, email showed intelligence analysts altering or massaging the briefing to exclude. I don't know why he used that word, massaging the briefing. It's a weird fucking word. He directed the Office of DNI, DOJ, FBI, and CIA to investigate why the information was hidden. Electronic voting and ballot counting systems. They're really against this electronic voting thing, probably because Dominion's owned by a liberal. So, but he described a third group of documents they said demonstrated federal officials had long understood that electronic voting and ballot counting systems were vulnerable to attack. Also true. Also in the Mueller report. So, but that they are not compromised at a level that would actually influence an election. That they can be compromised. And that Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, otherwise known as three of his homies, and the one he decided to be mad at.
Right.
Centralized voter registration databases, electronic poll books, and official election websites. Voter registration databases and electronic poll books were the most vulnerable. None of those things cast or count votes.
Right.
So, and all of this assessment happened in 2020. He used Venezuela as an example. Like he just kept coming back to this throughout the entire speech. Right?
Yeah.
Trump said the CIA retained reporting concerning an alleged scheme by Maduro to digitally manipulate Venezuela's 2020 election. So, okay, excellent. We have a 2027 trial date for Maduro. You got Maduro in there. Look, that's crazy. And then we had a fourth collection of documents involving 2020 voter registration. Operation Muskegon, Michigan. He said that he claimed the Michigan State Police investigated a Democratic Get Out the Vote organization and had contacted the Detroit FBI. That canvassers were admitting signing other people's names on registration forms. He directed, it said the Biden Justice Department delayed and ultimately stopped that investigation. That the FBI agents believe crimes. Now that's completely without warrant. Like even the Michigan State Police came out and that never happened.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we didn't do that. Then he went into non-citizens and voter rules. A fifth investigation by DHS. I bet you can't guess the year. 2020. So that 278 non-citizens are registered for federal elections. That is concluded to also be emphatically false. There are a few that they have found in places like Pennsylvania. They found a good 6,000, which I don't think is a small number because those non-citizens should vote, but it's 6,000. And I think Pennsylvania cast 14 million votes,
something like that.
And
it's been shown that there's been no time has even a state election been thrown due to voter fraud, cheating, or anything like that in the present times since, so
yeah. So then about 20 minutes into the speech, he went after California.
Yeah.
Voter ID and in-mail voting, right? Okay. He criticized elections conducted without photo identification or proof of citizenship, right? Which most photo identification doesn't actually prove citizenship.
Right. That's actually where you have those contradictions. So those 6,000 citizens, they were eligible for an ID. And I don't know if you know this, but a lot of times when you go to the BMV now, they ask you if you would like to be registered to vote.
They do.
And so if they check that box, then it automatically gets submitted. So a lot of times mistakes like that happen. Not that those people tried to vote, just that they had been registered to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an important distinction.
Yeah, he talks about the California election that went from June 2nd, didn't fully get counted until July 10th, and that's ludicrous. I'll be honest, I'll agree. That's a bit ludicrous. And California has come out and agreed that that's a bit ludicrous and we got to figure out a better way. So that's definitely happened. But then he went against the networks, NBC and ABC. So it was CBS who ended up showing it. NBC and ABC declining. Well, how did he know they weren't showing it? He was actively giving it. So this is just proving the pudding. They're talking to him in his ear.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, get ABC and NBC. They're not showing this. And so like he literally starts railing them and suggesting the broadcast licenses should be revoked over the conduct. But you hate communists.
Right.
So very interesting reality there. Right. Then bipartisan appeal and notifications to say, he said, secure elections should unite Republicans, Democrats, and independents rather than become a partisan issue. Well, our elections are pretty fucking secure already. So that's probably why it becomes a partisan issue, because why do you want to change it? It already is. So why do you want to change it? Because you have fucking nefarious intentions.
Yep.
And you're trying to make it so we don't have midterms.
Yes.
And we don't have another general election because you want to stay. And that's why I really hope our midterms are the little election that could. The 2026 midterms are the little, and I hope we whoop the shit out of them and then see what happens from there, probably Civil War. So didn't hear it here first. So he said that we should unite, right? And then he goes on, says more that he does tie it directly to 2026 and says Homeland Security will hold a briefing concerning cybers. The administration will form governors, senators, and representatives about potential vulnerabilities affecting their states. I bet those are a lot of Democratic states, not a lot of Republican
almost
states.
Exclusively, yeah.
Then he brings in the SAVE Act and urges them to pass the SAVE Act, which for the most part is unwarranted crazy shit.
And it's
either most states have those rules, and then the little caveats in there that nobody wants. That's why it won't pass, because nobody wants that. So he did all of that, but then I'm reading the transcript. I watched clips of the speech. I watched more of the speech than I should have because I fucking can't stand him. But I was curious.
I can't listen to him anymore.
I didn't watch it until I saw YouTube talking. So I was like, okay, I better watch this. And then I realized something. So basically what he said is the elections in 2018 were good. Or sorry, 2016 were good.
Right.
The election in 2024 was good. But the one in 18, 20, and 22 were bad.
Right.
Or sorry, 18 and 20. 18 and 20 were bad. Right.
When he was in office.
When he was the one overseeing the election. So the only elections that were completely fucked up and didn't go right and were annihilated by foreign governments and destroyed and cocked off and ripped up, you were on watch.
Yep.
It was your fire watch partner. And then I heard he got ballistically mad the next day when people started pointing out you kind of trashed yourself. Yeah. Because everything bad happened in 18 and 20, but 16 had great elections and 24 had a great election. Well,
both when
so
Democrats
Sleepy
were in
Joe
office.
and Obama can run elections, but you cannot. And he's that stupid that like everything bad happened in 2020 and 20, you were in charge. Yep. Those were your elections to oversee, and you couldn't do it responsibly. Like all of this shit happened, and the weird thing is, Mueller told us that all of this shit happened, but then the part you left out is Mueller told us you intentionally allowed it to happen.
Right.
So because your little spin in your speech was it was anti-Trump, when in reaction they want you to be president because you're a fucking moron.
Yep.
And they can dog walk you and get whatever they want, i.e. Saudi Arabia, i.e. Israel, i.e. Russia,
and Ukraine,
China.
Yeah.
China, not so much in a willing way, but still did it.
I mean, I mean, they did dog walk him, and I'm willing to bet that a lot of these companies made a lot of money charging tariffs that had to be refunded.
No, 100%.
They were illegal.
Yeah. We just put more tariffs out there too. More global tariffs. We're gonna try this way. We'll lose again.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wanted to bring that up. That like he's definitely seeming to attack the election before it happens because it's been proven that he can't run safe elections.
Yeah. Well, and because he wants to do anything that he can. Yeah, he wants to dictate. Very good.
He wants to be a dictator, bro.
Yep.
He wants to not fried potato, not mashed tater, not baked tater. So maybe McDonald's will see us through. Maybe McDonald's will see us through. My Lord and Savior, Grimace.
Grimace, huh?
Wasn't it the hamburger Grimace, right? I'm not crazy about this. There were statues of him in the place. What was the other one called? Fuck Ronald McDonald. He was nowhere near as cool as the hamburger and fucking Grimace, dude. He was a clown, dude. Bozo and fuck Happy's place shit on him. So, and that was a local one.
Because he was a hobo, not a clown.
Ronald McDonald's also a hobo. So,
yep. And that's pretty much what I wanted to go over to was the speech. So I think that's pretty much all I've got.
That's really all you got? Because I do. I pulled the whole transcript. I pulled the entire transcript of the speech. I was actually trying to find some time this week to pull clips of the speech and play them here.
Yeah.
So, but that was just way more time than I have on my hands. Way more. Hey, look, if you 2 million of you can subscribe and like, I will have time on my hands to do that because I don't quit my job. Yep. So I will do this for a living and I'm much better at it. So
I just told my class today about this, and so we might see some random college students coming into our comment section.
Okay, so there is somebody in the comment section.
Yeah.
Commenting is the professor happen to be Dr. P?
Yeah.
Okay, they're in the comment section. That when I said I got a YouTube notification, they're definitely in there commenting. So the professor is interested, which isn't shocking.
She actually does a lot of dark psychology. So
okay,
she does a dark leadership psych class that I'm really interested in taking.
I imagine that
because I mean she's got to be like just pulling in all kinds of data points these days with everything going on
with the fucking psychopath at the helm, dude.
Right.
All over the place. There's fucking tweakers everywhere. So, so crazy 2 weeks, but pretty much that, right? Reignite the war, talk shit about the elections. Like we're going to probably see that revolving door until the midterm. This is probably all we're going to see. And then immigration will crank up. Actually,
well, they're going to use ICE.
I think the lunatic had a rally here tonight. Bovino? Was that his name? Oh, and they got the boot. The 2 people were shot in Minnesota, and then he got the boot. Oh, wasn't that Bovino?
The little ICE.
Yeah, the little Napoleon motherfucker that wore the SS jacket. He was actually close, about an hour away from me today.
Oh,
I think it's tonight that his rally happened. I'm pretty sure it was tonight. I'd like to see. I'll see it on local news.
He's rallying? What's he rallying for?
Because they're anti-immigration. No, this is what they're going to do, bro. They're going to bang the immigration drum again, which we've had 2 more shootings.
Yeah.
One in Maine and
Texas.
One in Texas. This is going to happen again. So, and we're knowing about the shootings because there's probably been more because of the midterms. So the left is promoting the because that helps them.
Right.
And it's like, I want to go back to the world. Well, we never really had it, but I want to go back to the world where the news is the good stuff. So,
no, we never had that.
It doesn't pay the bills. The good stuff don't pay the bills.
People don't care about fuzzy
Because we're fucking nuts, bro. Because capitalism, free range materialistic capitalism has made us fucking jobs, bro. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll know what. So what we got
next week. Next week we're gonna talk about that last article that I shared, because we're gonna be looking at a lot of earnings calls have come in, and we're gonna be looking at the Fed possibly raising rates and what that's going to do for the housing and general economy over the next. Well, housing's already in a decline, and then they're gonna they're gonna try not to, but they're definitely going to have to raise rates.
We're 14 weeks and 4 days away from the midterms, because it's November 3rd, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, it's November 3rd.
The 3rd.
It's always a Tuesday. So it's November 3rd. First Tuesday in November. Right? Yeah. So directly the day after Dia de los Muertos, too.
All right.
Let's go, Grimace.
All right. Well, that's what we got for this week. So
welcome, Dr. B. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
It's very exciting.
This is Bluebird on your shoulder.